What is up, guys? It's Meg. Welcome back to Meg After Dark. We're back in the car again. And I'm feeling very suspicious right now. You guys, I meant to do this yesterday, but I got super slammed yesterday. And so I just got off work and I have about 20 minutes before an appointment. And I'm sitting in a neighborhood outside some stranger's house. And I am feeling very exposed right now. I actually drove around the neighborhood. Oh, I have a cat. I had a cat hair on my face. I just got off work. I work with cats. So I have cat fur all over me. And that's why I look a little less presentable. I actually drove around this neighborhood looking for the most like inconspicuous spot to park. I think I have cat hair in my mouth too. Ew. Oh, you guys, I'm a mess. Okay, let's get right into this real fast before somebody sees me. I feel very exposed. Okay, I want to talk about the previews for next week's episode of The Walking Dead. So what are we at? Episode 12 now? I think it's called, I don't actually know what it's called. Season 9 episode, let's see, we've done 9, 10, 11. Yeah, so episode 12 next week. We finally get to meet Beta. So I noticed, like, it was pretty obvious that Beta was not at the hilltop where you could see him. I do think he was there in kind of the background, like hiding, watching. I get the sense from the new promos for next week. So I've watched like 3 promos and I get the sense that Beta is kind of like a tracker, just like Daryl. I think he has a lot of the same skills as Daryl, except that he is also bigger than Daryl. So Daryl might have met his match finally. In the previews for next week, the special preview that we saw for Talking Dead, I believe, we saw Beta catch up to Alpha and Lydia and the rest of the Whispers as they're walking back to their camp, wherever they're staying. And he says that the boy, meaning Henry, is tracking them. So, and he's the only one that he can see. So you know that Beta is kind of, I feel like he is kind of like the backup, you know? So Alpha goes out and she takes some of her Whispers, probably not even all of them, to kind of make a show at the hilltop. And then, oh God, there's construction workers walking across the street. Anyways, and then in the background, kind of maybe in the forest or the woods or hiding somewhere, is Beta keeping watch just in case things go south. Which is why he was able to be unseen and Henry didn't know. You know, Henry went out and tried tracking them to catch up to them. And that is how Beta found Henry. We also see in kind of the main promo that Henry does pretty well. He fights off one Whisper, but he then gets caught by Beta. We also see a scene where Beta is talking to Alpha and he says, and this is like, so I enjoyed both Alpha and Beta in the comics, but being a thing that you read, we all kind of have our own ways of picturing Beta's voice, and I just never, I mean, when you're reading stuff, a lot of times it's just in your own voice. So I never imagined Beta to have such like a deep, gravelly voice, but I love it. It is so good. And it just adds to kind of, he's like this huge guy and he's kind of scary and he's got this deep, gravelly voice. And my phone is under, you guys, and I need my phone real fast because I need to see what time it is. Sorry. Y'all know that I get red when I'm in the car and nervous that I'm gonna be seen. So I think this is really funny that my neck is getting more red. Okay, I still have about 15 minutes. And he says we need to protect ourselves. We need to be ready. Oh my God, like, he is so scary. And we know that in the main trailer promo for the second half of the season, like the big trailer, we saw Daryl and Beta fighting. And that is going to be a scary fight for us Daryl fans. Like, I like both Daryl and Beta, but obviously I want Daryl to win. I am loving him this season. I just find this, like, this is what I wanted from Daryl for all of the seasons. Like, this is the guy that I wanted to see. I wanted to see him talking. I want to see him taking a bigger role. You know, like, this is who I've wanted to see and I've been waiting for this entire time. So I swear to God, if they fucking kill him off, I will freak out. I will riot. I got my wallet still, you guys. I don't know how many of you remember this bad boy. It's so beat up. Like how old that is. I bought this when that's what Daryl looked like in the season. Okay, you guys. I lost my train of thought because I saw some people coming again. I'm reading I took notes while I was at work so that I remember what to say. So Henry gets caught by Beta. We also see in the promo that Lydia, I'm sorry that this is jumping around so much. I'm just trying to like tell you guys my thoughts and opinions before I get either too caught or my appointment starts. So Lydia tells her mom, she's basically covering her ass. I can tell that Lydia did not want to go back, but you know, those are her people. She felt like she had to, obviously. And you can see that she feels very uncomfortable as she's walking back with Alpha. She tells Alpha that she lied to get the Hilltop to trust her. And then there's I'm kind of jumping around the promos, but there's another scene where we see kind of probably the same thing where Alpha is kind of whispering to her that, you know, you did what you had to do to make them believe you. And basically also implying that everything that they they were, sorry, you guys. This is a terrible spot to film. Basically that everything that the Hilltop had told her was also a lie. Kind of just furthering that brainwashing, right? So just kind of reestablishing that just in case, you know, Lydia might have been leaning towards the Hilltop. And then she gives her an apple. And I feel like it was like, here, instead of eating worms, you get to eat apple tonight. Like it was like it's like you're brainwashing someone and then you give them a gift. Like it's so typical of like how a person like that works, you know? You tell somebody something and you make them believe, and then you give them gifts and like to like reaffirm that you're thinking about them and their best interest, you know? So you can really see Alpha has done a number on her. We also see that, hang on. I can't, my hands are so cold, I can't get the paper. Okay, I mentioned that Beta seems like he's just as good of a tracker as Daryl. So I wouldn't even be surprised if Beta then sees Daryl coming or something like that, or follows him like on the way back, something like that. There was a clip where, so we see Lydia punch Henry. And I feel like it's all an act at this point. Like, she's like, you're stupid, you know, like she's gonna punch him. Like, she wants Alpha to believe her because pretty much she knows that if she doesn't, they're both gonna get killed. I don't think Alpha would hesitate to kill her if she made the wrong choice. And she also doesn't want Henry to get killed. So right now she has to act like she doesn't like Henry. So she punches him, and then later we see kind of a scene in the dark where Beta brings Henry to Alpha and Lydia. It's dark. There are Whisperer masks, I believe, or it could be heads, but I'm pretty sure they're the Whisperer masks that are on pikes, on sticks, sticking out of the ground. Some foreshadowing, I think, for those of us paying enough attention and that are comic book readers. You'll know what I'm talking about. There's definitely, they put that there to kind of hint to us what could be coming. So we see that Alpha throws a knife down to Lydia, and she's just like, she's wringing her hands, like she's just like, I think that Alpha is gonna ask her to kill Henry. And I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm like 90% sure that Henry's not gonna die. I think maybe Daryl will come in or something's gonna happen, because this same thing happened in the comics with Carl and going after Lydia when Lydia was taken back to the Whisperers camp. And Rick came and kind of talked them out of it, and Lydia was actually allowed to go back with them. I'm not sure if that would actually happen this time, based on, you know, obviously they're changing things in the television show, but they're also, it just doesn't quite seem to flow as well. You know, Daryl and Alpha just kind of had this confrontation, and yes, Daryl gave Lydia back to her, but I don't know that so quickly Alpha would be like, okay, fine, you're right, Lydia can go live with you. Do you know what I mean? And that's kind of what happened in the comics in so many words. So, except then there was a huge scene afterwards that was scary. So I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. I don't really know how Daryl and Connie play into this, except I feel like somehow Henry's gonna be able to go back with them, and maybe Lydia too, but I don't think Henry's gonna die at this point. There is a guy there that you see that doesn't have a mask on, and Alpha is pointing a bloody finger at him, and I don't know like if that's a whisperer without a mask on, you know, that's like getting in trouble, or if oh, I gotta see what time it is, or if that is like another person they caught somewhere along the way. Like, it's kind of weird. So I don't really know about that. The other biggest thing that I really loved in this, in the promo, in the main promo, was Michonne. So we're seeing all of this Whisper and Henry and Daryl and Beta and these things, and Lydia, Alpha, you know, we're seeing all these scenes, and then right in the middle, it's Michonne saying, putting ourselves out there is dangerous, which has kind of been the whole theme of the Alexandrians and Michonne this entire season, is that she does not want to help anyone else. It's Alexandria for themselves. They're not gonna help anyone else. Like, they're protecting themselves because something bad happened that we don't know about yet. But Gabriel comes back with, who are we supposed to turn to if we need help then? And that is so true. And I think that is what's going to get Michonne to maybe go to the fair, because it is so true. The communities have always needed to rely on each other for when wars happened, when Negan was, like, they all had to rely on each other because one community can't necessarily defend itself against something like the Whispers. And if, you know, Michonne is so adamant about not helping anyone else, or not, you know, like, basically like, we're sticking together with just our group, just our community, we don't need anyone else, we're not going to participate, like, it's just us, it's nobody else. And Gabriel is so right. When you do something like that and you ostracize the other groups and you won't help them, well, if you don't help them when they need help, they're not going to necessarily come and help you when you're down and out and need help. So I think that's going to get to her. I do. I think that they were hinting at it in last episode when Ezekiel was still holding out hope that the Alexandrians would come to the fair. And I think now, seeing this promo for next week, that just kind of furthers my belief that Michonne will come to the fair. And then what happens after the fair? You guys, I don't want to speak of it because I know some of you guys haven't read the comics, but I feel like even those of you who haven't read the comics probably kind of know what's going to happen because there's so many comic spoilers out there, but I'm trying my best not to spoil it for y'all. So all in all, I'm very, very excited for next week's episode. There's only one glimpse of Connie there and no glimpse of Dog, I think. So I'm kind of, I really want to know if that Beta fight is going to happen in next episode as well, because it seems like it's all kind of leading up to it. But then if Beta and Daryl are fighting, where's Connie and where's Dog? So if Dog dies, we riot. Okay? Okay. No killing off Dog. No killing off anybody we like. No, I can't say that in this show. That'll never happen. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't mind how red I am. What the fuck? Okay, if you're new to my channel, go back and look at some of the other car vlogs. You'll see that this is completely normal. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you so much. I love you guys. I will see you next week with my reaction. Have a good night. Bye.